Righto, we're just about done with the road trip now. We left Newman this morning. You can see we're obviously heading back closer to Perth. We've still got the jacket on at lunchtime. So yeah, she's a bit too chilly. But we've had a big week this week. Yeah, up the coastway, up to Onslow, caught up with the drill line crew. We stopped in overnight there at Newman. Caught up with Cozzy over at Cappy there. Had a bit of a feed. And we left off yesterday. I think we said we were going to make you wait a little while for our big news. But we woke up this morning and what we've been waiting for was there. So we're pretty happy to announce now. We've been working hard for a couple of years. We've been waiting for that big contract to come in, the big volumes, so we can actually start moving forward and doing some of the building of our business that we're trying to do. And yeah, we're happy to announce now that we've signed BHP up for 3 years for drilling fluids from Mud-X and from gravel from Pilbara sand up in the Pilbara there. So yeah, we're really looking forward to that. It's a huge thing for us. You know, we started from scratch and we've signed Australia's biggest company. So pretty proud. So yep, I suppose moving forward, to sign Australia's biggest company, their standards are pretty high. So we're really looking forward now to be able to not only meet them standards, but to exceed them when it comes to looking after this contract. So, you know, we've got 3 years now. We didn't get freight on this, so I would have liked to have supplied this product from up in Newman. And so we've got something to do. We've got some work to do for the next 3 years because we'd like our own fleet of trucks to be servicing this contract for the next 3 years after that too. So yeah, we're looking forward to the future. Like I say, we've from scratch to Australia's biggest business took us 2 years, so happy days. I suppose one of my favourite sayings, teamwork makes the dream work. We couldn't have done this without the support of Mud-X and Pilbara Sand and a lot of other people. So thank you very much to everyone that's helped, and we look forward to building this business to whatever we can in the future. Happy days. We'll see you later on.
Darren, why did you start WONBON?
Well, the original reason was to leave mining, buy myself a truck and just go driving, because I always wanted to drive a truck for a living and I've never really done it for a living. And it sort of changed a bit since then. So as we got into it, I realised there was probably more potential in products, selling products. There was a lot more opportunity if we could make that work. So we changed our direction and headed down that path. And because we thought we could create more opportunities for other people that way. So if I went and bought myself a truck, yep, that would be me happy and I'd be doing something that I like doing. But I couldn't really provide too much for other people doing that. And I suppose our story started from a pretty bad place, and you know, we couldn't probably get any lower down the social and financial stature of Australian society than what we started at. So it's about building that capacity in our family, I suppose. And if you look through our family, I suppose I had the skills and the tools to be able to have a good crack at it. So yeah, I thought I'd give it a go. And now I think it was a real good move, because I think we've set ourselves up to pretty well. I think our vision has worked for us, and I think we're able to now offer opportunities to people to basically get an opportunity to get the same skills, knowledge and experience that I had, so that then they can go on and do the same thing that I'm doing today. I suppose that's what it comes down to. Yeah, you sort of know if you haven't always had them opportunities available to you, you know how important they are. And so yeah, to be able to offer them to other people, I think is good thing. That's really why I'm doing it now, I suppose.
What sort of products and services are you going to offer in the business?
So at the moment we've got drilling fluids. We've through Munnocks, we're a distributor up in the Pilbara there for Munnocks drilling fluids, so locally manufactured down in Canning Vale. 80% of the base materials are Australian raw materials. So pretty soon we're going to be driving down through the wheat belt here and down into the southwest. When we see all them canola fields out there in the paddocks, that's 80% of the products that we're selling up in the Pilbara come from there. So the people that grow that, they're Australian farmers. The money that we make goes to them as well. It's creating opportunities for everyone in Australia. You're buying that from Australia. The truck drivers that take it from those farms are Australian jobs. The people that process it are Australian jobs. The people that manufacture it are Australian jobs, and the people that sell it are Australian jobs. And it's good quality product. It's biodegradable. We've got Enviro packaging. It's all Australian made, Australian engineered. It's all Australian jobs, and it's opportunities for people. So that's what it's all about. You know, maybe my family at the moment, we might be a little bit further back on the opportunity scale than others, but you know, everyone needs opportunities. So we're not just going to be giving them to our family. We're going to give them to everyone. So that's what it's about. And it's much the same. The gravel. We've got gravel and sand up there in the Pilbara, and it's the same again. You've got Australian people, Pilbara people, making opportunities for themselves and others, supporting the industry that's already up there. We're already looking into some other materials as well, with a global business, but that global business, their ethos is work global, support local. So they manufacture here in Australia. The products that we're looking at with them are going to be partly manufactured here in Australia, but they've just spent $50 million on a manufacturing facility in Welshpool, and they're Australian jobs as well. So to support that, we're looking at, obviously we come from transport, that's what I love, so we want our own fleet of equipment that is moving our own products around. So we can offer those opportunities as well. I've just spent 20 years in the mining industry training and mentoring and supervising people there, and I've seen the benefits of supporting people and giving them opportunities and seeing what they've been able to get out of it, and I want to keep doing that for other people, basically. Obviously we need to be making money at the same time. Don't want to be eating noodles all my life, but it's not the main reason. We need to be doing that, but yeah, if we're doing the right thing, we're supporting people, we've got the right products, we're supporting the people around us, the communities around us, I think we'll succeed. And that's the way we've designed our business, and we're comfortable that we're on the right path, and we're going to succeed in the future by going that way. So that's what it's all about.
WONBON's been in business for what, 2 years now?
We've just gone 2 years, yep.
Yeah. What's been some of the highlights on that journey along the 2 years?
Probably the variety of things that we've done over those 2 years. It was very confronting, I suppose, when we first did this. To go from, I've been in the mining industry for 20 years, I've been operating machines for 35 years, I've always been around that, and that's my comfort zone, and yeah, that's where I was. I ended up training and supervising, but my thing is I'm an operator. I was born an operator, and I'll always be an operator till the day I die. So yeah, that's sort of, what's the question again?
What's been some of the highlights over the last 2 years of your business journey, basically?
Okay, so for me, our logo is probably one of the things that I was most proud of to start with, and that was a funny one because I was told by people that I needed a logo to make us look Indigenous, and I needed a boomerang or a spear or something some sort of Indigenous art to go on there, and I wasn't really sure about it at the time. I didn't really think I needed that because I've been Indigenous my whole life, and I didn't really think I needed to prove that. But I understand in a business sense and a commercial reality is that you do need that, so people can see what where you are, who you are, and that was one of the hardest things for me. I sat there for days and days, and I scratched my head, and I couldn't really work out what I was going to do. And then one day I had something scribbled on a bit of paper, and I looked at it and turned it to the side and thought, I know exactly what that is, and turned it into our logo, and I'm pretty proud of that because I think our logo really does sum up who we are. So that's one of the main things. I suppose creating a website, and it might not be the website that a professional website designer would design, but I'd never used a computer until I went and started work at Hammersley Iron. I would never ever have thought in my whole life that I would have a website or design a website, and I did it. Uniforms, that type of thing. I think the most thing that I'm proud of, everything in this business, we've done ourselves. We could have gone to business hubs and got them to do all our business plans. We could have had an easier path by getting other people to do a lot of stuff for us, but we wouldn't have known our business the way that we know our business because we've done it all ourselves. So that's probably the thing I'm proud of the most. The other thing would be the products and the people that we're working with, is the relationships that they were existing relationships, but it's those relationships and building on those relationships. I'm pretty proud of that, and I think that those relationships moving forward is what's going to make this successful, not only for us. We have a thing with all the people that we're working with. If it's good for us, it's good for us, which means it's good for all of us. And if we base our business around that, and our partnerships are based on that, we're going to succeed. So, yeah, that's probably what I'm most proud of.
So a theme that you've touched on a few times during the last few days is creating opportunities for other people. Like what sort of opportunities are you planning to provide, and how are you going to achieve that?
At this stage, we are looking at increasing our volume of the product sales that we have, and then we want our own logistics fleet to support that. So we're looking into manufacturing opportunities, manufacturing and warehousing opportunities. We'll be looking at transport and logistic opportunities, so driver traineeships, and we'll also be looking at opportunities up there in the Pilbara. We're working with Drill Line and Pilbara Sand up there, and there's opportunities around mining and quarrying and transport opportunities up there as well. So we'll be looking into all of that sort of stuff, and then potential long distance east-west freight as well when we start to evolve into our other product lines.
So your previous experience working for companies like BHP and Hammersley Iron, do you think that had an impact on winning this BHP tender that you've just signed off on?
Yeah, I think it was huge. So to me, there was a couple of advantages that I've had over time. So the first thing, I am an operator, and I've been around machines since I was 3 years old. I've been in trucks, I've been in loaders, I've been in graders, dozers, water trucks. I've been around it. So that exposure, I think, gave me the skills and knowledge that I needed to be able to succeed in that line of work. So when I went to the companies like Hammersley Irons and your BHP, I think that stood me in good stead when I got there. So instead of having to concentrate a lot of time in learning machine operating, I got to learn all the other stuff that they provided, and that stuff was essential for us to be able to get a contract with BHP. we built our business based on all of those principles, all of those practices that they operate under. That's what I'm used to, and it's how we founded our business, to make sure that it was at that standard. I worked there for 20 years in that industry, and there's performance reviews and expectations and whatnot every year, and meeting expectations was not my idea of good enough. It wasn't what I wanted to do, and it's not what we want to do in the business. We want to do it to a standard that's a little bit above that, so that's our goal. And I think if we follow those basic principles, that same practice that I've been operating under for the last 20 years, we're going to be able to do it. Look, and at the end of the day, people talk about safety, and I think sometimes people just talk about it, but it doesn't really mean that much to them. But I've been the bloke on the ground there, and unfortunately I've seen people not go home from work, and I don't want that ever to happen in this business. Unfortunately as well, the industry that we've chosen to go into is the most dangerous industry that there is in Australia, and the most fatalities at work occur in the transport industry. So we need to make sure that we have every policy and system and process in place that we can possibly have to make sure that doesn't happen. So that's the way that we're basing our business. I hear people say that money makes the world go round. I don't believe that at all. If you didn't have people, money's just going to blow around and do nothing. You need people to make the world go around, so people are more important than money, in my opinion. And that's the principle of this business. We're going to look after people. We're going to make money. Everything we do is going to be designed to be profitable. And if it's not, we're not going to do it. But our priority is people, and we'll put people first.
So what are your goals and plans for the next 6 months, and 6 to 12 months? And where would you like to see the business in 5 years' time?
I suppose for the next 6 to 12 months, we want to make sure that this BHP contract, we nail it. So we don't want to lose this contract, basically. Once we've got it, we want to be able to keep it. And we not only want to be able to keep this one, once we can prove that we're running this to that standard, there's Roy Hill, there's Rio Tinto, and there's FMG out there in the Pilbara, who also have a lot of need for the products that we're going to have. They're also got the same requirements as the companies that we're already dealing with, and I think that the model that we're running at the moment, we can transfer to those businesses as well, and all the other businesses up there working in the Pilbara. So we need to prove now on the ground. We need to get out there, we need to make that work, and we need to build our business from there. We need a Pilbara base over the next 6 months. So to get that base up there at Capricorn, Warrawanda, to get this contract up and running the way that we want it running, and to expand that customer base with those large volume customers is what we're looking at doing over the next 6 to 12 months. And also to be able to get that presence up there in the Pilbara with our partners up there at Drillline and Pilbara Sand. We want WONBON people on the ground up there in those operations as well to support their operations. We don't want to be just supplying products from people. We want to be working with people, and we want that manufacturer support with our products as well. So yeah, that's what we're looking at doing over the next 6 to 12 months. Probably long term, we want a long-term Pilbara presence. We're from the Pilbara, we've had that presence. So for us to have a couple of bases in the Pilbara and to be running trucks up and down this highway and across the other side of the country, that's my dream. I don't think I'll be the man that actually gets to drive those trucks. That's probably a real dream for me, but I'm sort of giving up that dream. I'm happy to own the fleet. I'm happy to give these opportunities to other people, and then I'll just sneak a couple of sneaky runs in where I feel like it, here and there. Maybe I've got a couple of sons there. One of them's up at Rio Tinto, he's a geologist. The other one, I think, just went for a interview with Rio Tinto the other day as an operator. I think they both have a place in this business. I think we've got a lot of people up there in the Pilbara, a lot of people in our family who would like these opportunities. A lot of other people would like the opportunities too. So to be able to provide them to them, yeah, that's sort of where we're looking at long term, to have that permanent base up there. We're working with Pilbara Sand and Drill Line now. I worked with Daryl 30 years ago. He was one of the people that gave me these opportunities, 30 years ago to get me where I am today. He's ready for retirement. Maybe I could buy him out one day, let him go fishing. That would be a great thing to do. I'll be happy to do that. I'll build our businesses together as much as I can. I'll even have to pay more for that business at the end of the day. I'll be happy to do that if we can make us all successful. So yeah, that'd be great.
Do you have any final thoughts on the little trip that we've just done?
I suppose
Northwest?
I would say it's not something that I ever thought that I would do, and I suppose I missed out on that when you asked me what I was most proud of as well. I think over the last 12 months, 2 years, I've done a lot of things that I never ever thought I would do in my life. I could never ever see it, and yeah, I don't have those. I don't think I have things holding me back now like I used to have holding me back. It's opened my outlook in the last 2 years. I suppose, it is a generational thing. I suppose it is something that, even though I've been successful in my life, I always had doubts, and you always have those, from where you've come from. It is, people ask about intergenerational things, and that sort of comes from Dad didn't have everything normal in his life, and so it's probably given me doubts in mine, and I think that's actually held me back a bit in my life, even though I have achieved a lot and been successful. And I think I really realised when I started this journey that doubt needed to stop, and the only way that you could succeed is to have that belief. The only person that can actually stop you from ever doing something in your life is yourself, if you decide you're not going to do it. So that would be my advice to anyone that's got doubts about anything or is thinking about having a crack at it. The only thing that can stop you from achieving what you want to achieve is you, if you don't try. So if you want it and you want to take the time and learn about it and do the work to get it, you can get it. So I'm not going to say it's easy, and I'm not going to say that it's just going to fall in your lap, but if you want it, you can do it. And the only thing that can stop you from doing that is if you don't try. So make sure you try. That's probably what I would say there.